Hi, my name's Bob Gersztyn, and the reason why I'm talking right now is because I wrote a book, Jesus Rocks the World, the definitive history of contemporary Christian music. This book is for anybody who is interested in the way that music and religion intersects and what happens when it does. This book is my life. I lived the book. I was there before it even all began. I was a hippie back in the 1960s, dropping LSD, going to concerts, seeing groups like Alice Cooper and Jimi Hendrix, when at the same time you had Mylon Lefevre opening up for them, Mason Prophet opening up for them. You had groups that eventually became Christian groups, but were already singing Christian music at the same time. And I was there. See, I was in the Army from 1966 to 1968. I got drafted. After I got out of the Army, I had the GI Bill, so I took advantage of it. And I started going to college. I went to college for over 10 years. And I studied everything from the Bible to photography to ancient history. I got a degree from Life Bible College in Los Angeles, California, in the Bible and theology. Then I went to Pasadena City College for 2 years and studied photography there. Then after that, I worked on a master's degree at California State University at Los Angeles in ancient history. But true to my 1960s background, I dropped out before I finished and got my master's degree. So I've got about enough units to have a PhD, but unfortunately it's in the 1960s mode of take classes because you want them, not because you want a degree. You might wonder, well, how does dropping acid have anything to do with Jesus? Funny you should ask, because that's a very important part of my book. You see, many of the people who began were dropping acid because after you drop acid, something happens. It's like you begin to see things that you didn't see. It may be the dark side, it may be evil, it may be hell itself. But if you've been to hell, you'll believe in heaven. So you would turn around, and now when you read the Bible would become alive to you. So you had thousands of hippies that were converting to Jesus, and I was one of them. And after I converted, I began to study the Bible every day. Eventually, I attended Bible college, and I graduated from Bible college and became an ordained Foursquare minister. I worked as an associate pastor in Los Angeles, California. While I was there, I would book groups like Love Song, Keith Green, Children of the Day. Through the 1970s, I continued to photograph them, and I became a journalist. And I started to photograph music groups, both Christian and non-Christian, and the relationship that the two had. I began to work for the Wittenberg Door magazine, which was one of the biggest watchdog magazines of the Jesus movement, and published until 2008. I was their contributing editor and staff photographer. In fact, their only staff photographer in their entire history. And they were around for over 35 years. I wrote a number of encyclopedia articles about contemporary Christian music and gospel music, which is the reason why I wrote this book, because the publishers were impressed by my previous work and asked me if I would write a complete history, which I did in the form of Jesus Rocks the World. And there are 2 volumes. The reason why there are 2 volumes is you couldn't fit it all in 1 volume. In fact, there could even be a 3rd volume because it's a continuing story. But in my case, the story ended in 2011 when I finished the book. Since I'm also a photographer, the book is illustrated with all my photographs, from the cover to 15 inside photographs. Now, over the years, I have shot literally tens of thousands of photographs of hundreds of rock groups, both secular and Christian, from every genre of music that you could name, from heavy metal and rap to the Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan and folk music and straight rock with Tom Petty. But at the same time, I have photographed Christian groups all the way back to Love Song, Children of the Day, Second Chapter of Acts, Keith Green, And then coming into the 21st century with Jars of Clay and Switchfoot and every group that you could imagine. If you would like me to come speak to your group or your church, all you have to do is contact me at my email address, which is phototune, Phototune at Comcast.net, or you can call me on the phone at 503-363-0404. You can also visit me on Facebook. You can use my book title, Jesus Rocks the World, and I also have a blog for Jesus Rocks the World at wordpress.com. If you'd like to buy Jesus Rocks the World, all you have to do is go on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or even ABCCLIO, which is the company that published the book.
And now the storm